Coming to you from the Black Goat 39 studios, this is the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast. And now here's your host, the Guru of Sports, and Cousin Aaron. Hello, sports fans, and welcome. Welcome to episode 90 of the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast. I am very glad to introduce Cousin Aaron. Cousin Aaron, I'm...
Thank you, Guru. Good morning, let me say.
Good morning. You know, I don't know why, but it seems like our crack staff is not here all the time, so it means that I have to work the boards. I have to do everything. So
I know, man.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Everybody knows that. You know, this is not. You know, when you're doing the podcast, it's not really perfect science. But the thing about it is that I like doing it because it's just something fun to do, you know.
I like your style.
Exactly. Now, first of all, I want to ask you, how were you and how was your week?
Great, man. I feel better this week.
That's
of
good.
course, you know, I'm on medication. I'm on legal medication. Let's
There
put
you
it
go.
that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Guru. I'm feeling good today.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Now, you know, we had a lot of stuff going on in sports. You know, I hate to start the program on a bad note, but the thing about it is that I want to mention this to you, that, you know, Major League Baseball really pissed me off the other day.
Come on with it.
You know why? And this is one of the things. They locked out, the players got locked out, the owners and Rob Manfred. And, you know, I don't know what's wrong with baseball right now. You know, baseball is not the national pastime anymore, right?
No.
Now, you know, football is our pastime. And football is basically what we worship here in this country. You know, I listen to a lot of sports talk radio. I listen to a lot of people talk. And mostly some shows are basically all football, and then they'll sprinkle in a little bit of you know, baseball, basketball, hockey,
Right.
and all that stuff. But, you know, yeah, but see, you know, years ago, you know, I guess back in the 40s and 50s, it was just basically baseball and horse racing, you know.
Yeah, right.
You know, horse and boxing. Boxing was big back, yeah. But, you know, times are changing, and, you know, it's just that I understand that football is a big sport. And big that, you know, what we talk about mostly in this podcast. But the thing about it is that we don't want to overlook the, you know, other sports that we have to talk about.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, I do want to, like I said, the baseball lockout is pretty simple. Okay. They're going to lock them out. And like I said, Manfred said that this is not going to affect the regular season. I'm like, well, okay, well, we got like, you know, a couple months. February, I guess, is when they start to go to spring training and all.
Spring training, right?
Yeah. So we ain't got to worry about it till then. But the thing about it is that, you know, I think they only met for like 7 minutes or something like that. And then they, you know, can't come to any agreement. They make me really sick because the thing about it is that, you know, kids now are not really looking at baseball.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
They don't really care about baseball. Baseball is like losing a whole generation because the thing about it is that it doesn't appeal. It just doesn't appeal to them. It doesn't appeal to the younger kids and all, younger generation.
Inconsistent.
You know. And me, I used to play baseball. I was, you know, fairly average, or I guess. But the thing about it is that baseball was always my favorite sport. But I just have to say that, you know, with the NBA and the NFL and even NHL, I like all sports, but, you know, my first love was baseball. But like I said, it just makes me mad when they try to do things like this to lock the players out and, you know, go into another strike or whatever. So I want to end that on this note. Get your stuff together, baseball, because believe me, you're falling far and far and far away from, the American culture right now. You just, it's just going away. All right. I want to ask you, have you ever heard of a 73-point blowout in basketball?
No, I'm trying to think back all the way to Will Chamberlain days.
Yeah.
But no, I have never heard of a 73-point differential.
Well, it happened Thursday night, and like I mentioned, okay, we're going to talk about the game that happened Thursday night because I didn't see it. I didn't get a chance to see it. Did you get a chance to see it?
Okay. No, but I heard something about it, but I didn't pay much attention to it. I didn't even know if it was college or NBA or what. I had no clue, but something good to talk about.
Okay.
Give me an update on that.
Okay.
Get to it. Yeah.
All right. First of all, I want to tell you about the 73-point blowout. Memphis beat the OKC Thunder 152-79. That's a 73-point win, and I think that's the largest win in NBA history. The previous record of largest win was 68 points back in 1991 when the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Miami Heat. But 73 points, huh? Say again?
No, I'm sorry. I said good information. You said it was an NBA game?
It was an NBA game. This was an NBA game. This wasn't a college game. This was an NBA.
Not even overtime.
Nope. No overtime. It's just like it seemed like they just gave up. What it looks like to me is just basically they gave up. How can you lose by 70? They said it was at 7, and to tell you the truth, they said it was 78 at one point. That's almost 80 points. How can oh man, I can't believe that you can actually lose by 73 points.
Let me ask you, do you have the information on the halftime score? What was the halftime score?
I don't remember. I have to go back and look at the. I'll get that information to you, but I couldn't. When I heard the score, I was like, "Whoa, this is major."
That's remarkable.
It is. It's something else. All right, now I wanted to ask you: did you hear anything about the coaching changes and all this coaching stuff that went on this week? You had
in college.
Yeah, you had Lincoln Kennedy leaving Oklahoma, going to USC. You got Brian Kelly going from Notre Dame. He went down to LSU. Yeah. I think the one thing that I can relate to on Lincoln Riley, I think Lincoln Riley did a better move because his team, Oklahoma, is going into the SEC. And you know what's going to happen when you go into the SEC. You're going to have to play Alabama. You're going to have to play Florida. You're going to have to play Tennessee, LSU, all these teams, all these big teams. And like when they get in there, I mentioned this before, when Oklahoma and Texas go into the SEC, they're going to be afterthoughts. They're not even going to be able to represent, like they used coming out of the Big 12. They represented the Big 12. They're not going to represent the SEC. They're not going to be that good. They're not going to be that good. So Lincoln Riley saw the writing on the wall. He said, "Hey, I'm up out of here." So
was any of those coaches offered an NFL job, as you know of?
Not really, because I don't think there's any NFL openings right now.
Openings, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I just thought it was mentioned.
Well, I actually thought that what's his name, Urban Meyer was going to leave Jacksonville, but to tell you the truth, if he left Jacksonville now, I wouldn't really care. I really don't care if he left Jacksonville. I'm disgusted with him. I'm really disgusted with him.
Right.
And it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, just pick up your stuff and go. He's not meant for the NFL.
It's like a joke to him, it seems like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a joke. He laughs all the time.
Yeah.
Even when
you don't fly back with your team on the flight back after a tough loss. There's a lot of things that I would want to go into about Urban Meyer, but I really don't want to ruin it by using foul language about him, and I don't.
Is that bad?
Yeah, it's that bad. And I'm sitting up here wearing a Leonard Fournette 27 jersey for Jacksonville, so how I feel about that. All right, now.
Audience can't see that.
Yeah, you can't see that really. It's the black one if you wanted to know. It's the black Jaguar jersey.
Nice looking jersey.
I appreciate it. All right, now I do want to get into some of the a little bit of the college rap before we go into one other little thing before I want to go into everything else. Okay.
Yeah.
Utah beat Oregon last night for the second time. So now Utah is going to go to the Rose Bowl.
That's right.
Now, I think the loser of this game between Michigan and Iowa is probably going to go to the Rose Bowl because whoever wins this is going to be the Big Ten champion, and they're going to play for the championship, Right. So the other big upset was Baylor beating Oklahoma State.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
now,
Baylor.
In that game...
Yeah, that was an upset to me.
That was an upset. But that game was really good because the bad man of the week came out of that. And, I tell you, if you guys watch this game, they're actually playing the replay on television right now.
Okay.
Fourth down, basically the game was on the line. If Oklahoma State scored, they would have won the game. I got to give it to Jarrett McVay. He stopped Desmond Jackson from 2 inches. I got to say it had to be at least 2 inches away from scoring the game-winning touchdown.
You kidding me?
I am serious. I saw that, and I still can't believe that. That is probably one of the best plays I ever seen. One of the best plays I ever seen in college, in pro, in anything. That was a stop. That was a serious stop. That was something else. But Oklahoma State loses, and now they're out of the running for the Final Four in the college playoffs. Okay, Cincinnati did win, so we gotta give Cincinnati their credit. I think they did enough to make it into the college football playoff.
Okay.
Now there's Alabama did beat Georgia, so Alabama, I really don't care about Alabama that much. But to tell you the truth, I think that they, when they are a underdog, usually they have not lost. I think they only been an underdog 5 times, and in those 5 games they won 4, and I think they didn't lose any of those. But they covered the spread all 5 times, or 4 times out of 5. So, yeah, this is a pretty good game. Now, the other 2 games are on right now. Pittsburgh leads Wake Forest 24-21, and that's at halftime. And at the other halftime of the other game is Michigan 14 and Iowa 3. So, if it holds true, Michigan will get that number 2 spot, and they'll keep it, and they'll go in the college football playoff.
That's right.
Okay. All right, now, what I'm going to talk about right now is Tiger Woods. Did you see Tiger Woods this week?
No. Never heard the news, the latest news.
Okay, the latest news on him is that he's going to be, he said he's feeling better, and he's getting better. And, we really appreciate him being better because the thing about it is that at one point in time, while he was in the hospital, they were talking about amputating his leg.
Yeah, lose his leg. I did hear that.
Yeah. So, I'm just glad that, he's going to be able to have some kind of quality of life. He said that the competitive phase of going on tour is over for him. So,
right, not gonna play anymore.
Yeah, he's going to probably play maybe one or two different, exhibition or tournaments or whatever. But, you just want to make sure that, when I heard about the accident in February, I was really worried that, he could have lost his life.
That's right, man.
But I really appreciate, the doctors that took care of him. And I'm glad that he's back to, just basically us seeing him, knowing that he's okay, knowing that the main thing. Now,
he's been through a lot, man, in his life.
Yeah. Some of it is self-inflicted,
Right.
I can't, we all make mistakes in life. But the thing about it is that, he's trying to redeem himself, and I gotta give him credit for redeeming himself.
Never too late.
Exactly. Okay, now one of the sad notes is that one of the guys that actually paved the way for him passed on this week. Lee Elder. Lee Elder was he played in the 1975 Masters, which meant he was the first African American to play in the Masters.
In a major, right?
Yeah, and he missed the cut. He missed the cut in that tournament. But the thing about it is that he won a tournament in '74 that qualified him for the Masters, and I think the tournament now is called the Valero tournament or something like that, and that's the one that it was named something different before. So he qualified after the '74 tournament and made the Masters, and he was I think he was like 81 years old or something or 77 years old. I'm sorry. So
he opened the door for African Americans.
Yeah, and see another thing too is that when I was growing up, I never seen anybody that looked like me that played golf. But now today, because of Tiger Woods and because of Lee Elder opening the door, you see a lot of more, everybody plays, and I'm not just saying just because, black people are playing it, everybody plays it. It made the sport more attractive to everyone.
Diverse, yeah.
Made it diverse, exactly.
Yeah. You got Orientals playing, you got Hispanics.
Yeah.
I saw the mixture. Yeah, it's good for the game.
Yeah, you got diversity in the game, which is a good thing.
Yes, sir.
And one other sad note I wanted to pass on is that Claude Humphrey, the Hall of Fame defensive end for the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles, passed away this afternoon. Tennessee State, he was the third player in the 1968 draft, and he was a Facebook friend of mine as well.
Oh man,
yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, I posted something on his on my Facebook page just to pay tribute to him, and give out my condolences to his family as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you. You guys talk often? Yeah,
Actually, not often. I think once. I think I spoke with him once. And, and that's the thing. I do have a lot of different, NFL players, Major League Baseball players. I talk to regularly. My favorite, actually, one of my favorite guys is Dave May Jr. And he always... he's supposed to be coming on pretty soon. Now, he's a Raider fan. Now, I got to give it up for Dave May. He's a Raider fan. But you know what? The thing is that I always tease him about is that he's actually a scout for the Toronto Blue Jays, right? He made me a Toronto Blue Jay fan. And when we was talking about baseball earlier this year, before the season started, I told him, I said, hey, I really think that the Blue Jays are going to have a really good team this year. So, yeah, I mean, they did pretty good. I thought they did pretty good. So I got to give it up for Dave May Jr. and the Toronto Blue Jays. Appreciate you guys. All right. Now, before we go into the NFL picks, my picks, Cousin Aaron, you got something that you want to give us?
Well, first and foremost, my heartfelt thanks for you allowing me to do this on this day. Yeah. This segment has been named the Musician's Shout-Out Day. And a lot of the musicians I've been associated with, they're looking forward to hear the names. And out of one promise, I said, you guys got to promise to subscribe to the show. And another thing, I wanted to mention to the audience that you have told me this before. This show is, the sports is the main vessel, but we also talk about entertainment as a whole, TV shows, movies, the latest current events, not only sports, but we try to spread the news with other topics, and that's a good thing that you have brought up. And so,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. So it's my turn now.
There you go. It's on you.
All right, well, here we go. As always, this portion of the show is brought to you by My NFL Views, which is a weekly publication exclusively on Facebook by me, Aaron Farrar. I try to pick out 3 teams each week that highlights that particular Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whatever day you watch the games in the NFL. So to begin with, Guru, I'd like to share with my audience, back in August of 2011, my long-time music career came to a screeching halt due to lung cancer. Last year, 2020, it returned. However, I'm in the process of recovery, and now I thank God above, He's allowing me to do that. All right. Here goes the musician special shout-out. In the beginning of my musical journey, I was with several local bands, namely the Monitors, which was orchestrated and managed by Jim Bennett. The Family Reunion Band, again Jim Bennett, which consisted of mostly the Bennett brothers and my own brother Butch. Note the Family Reunion. The Sounds Incorporated, I was given the name Popcorn as a drummer. The Briscoe and Company, a family of Briscoe brothers, along with their cousin Kevin Short, who's an opera singer. The Dynamic Corvettes is where I first performed my James Brown impersonation gig, and thereafter I went from that to perform with professional acts like Earl Melvin and the Blue Notes, Tyrone Davis, Sister Sledge, Sir Walter Jackson, Jeffrey Osborne, and so many others I can't even remember. But that's how it started. To go on further, I'd like to give a huge shout out to many musicians that I've worked with in some capacity throughout my musical journey, because without them, there would be no me. Actually, this is not directly about me, it's indirectly, but it's in association with my musical career. So I'd like to give a shout out to Lamont Savoy, who's the owner of Lamont's Entertainment Complex in Pamunkey, Maryland. Gerard Pinkney, who has the GB Promotions, and he's the promoter and owner of his company. And the Feeling the Funk Band, who he's the manager. I'd like to give a shout out to Jimmy Donovan. He's the local DJ in the Connecticut area, and man, isn't he bad. Also, a shout out to Anissa Twinkie Hargrove, a female vocalist that sings background for many R&B acts while being featured as a unique solo artist in her own right. Special recognition goes out to Joe Webb, Galen Adams, Earl Bond, Gigi Hart, Joseph Finwood, the late Bernard Briscoe, who was my cousin, the late Irvin Bennett, who I played with, Jimmy Poe, a great trumpet player called Buzzy Bendel, and a special shout out goes to Mousie Thompson and the James Brown Experience. As long as his band is playing, James Brown will never die. Along with Mousie is Greg Cooper. He's the impersonator now of the James Brown show. He does this with Mousie and the James Brown Experience. Nick Johnson, Keefe Showtown, Bussy, and a special shout out goes out to Greg Boyer, a trumpet player that has performed with the late Prince, Parliament Funkadelic, Maceo Parker, and many other professional groups. Boyer is a very special guy to me due to the fact that we're from the same roots of Charles County, Maryland. And lastly, guys I worked with from the beginning and was responsible for my career from the beginning were the Bennett brothers. Ernest and Joe have their own group now called Rise Band and Show. Jim Bennett, who I originally started out with, has the Unique Creation Band and Show. A shout out to Wanda Wills and her brother Paul Wills and the brother Seven. And last, certainly not least, this group, you people got to hear them. The name is NWO, a three-man horn section featuring Gilbert Pryor, Wanda Brown, who I've worked with from the beginning, and of course, Lenny Harris, a great saxophonist. This group is called NWO. NWO. A group of three guys that sound just as good as the Earth and the Fire horns and the Child Power horns. I thank you so much, Guru, for allowing me to do this. It means so much to these people. And we don't use the word deserve. I think they're worthy of what they do and what they're doing now. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Now it's back to you, Guru.
All right, thank you. You know what? That really makes sense because my thing is that people that are in the music business, they don't get a whole lot of shout outs as well too. And like I said, well, this is a sports show, but yet and still I like to shout out people and give them the big props that they earn, So, like I said, I have no problem with you giving out those shout outs. I really appreciate it. But I want to get to right now, I'm going to talk about that on the next side. But definitely we got to talk about our picks of the week. And when we talk about our picks of the week, what do we usually play? The Autumn Wind.
Pillaging just for fun. Knock you around and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Uh-oh. Here it comes. Ah, the autumn wind. Like I told you, every time that the autumn wind comes on, everybody in this house stands up and salutes. Alrighty. The autumn wind plays. That means it's time for our NFL picks. And Cousin Aaron, like I said, you have your picks on Facebook. And I think you have one of the games that I'm going to be mentioning. And I know that you have a difference of opinion. But that's a good thing. I don't have a problem with that because everybody has their opinion and what they like to play. All right. Now, the first game that I'm only going to give you 7 games right now. Only because these 7 games are basically with playoff teams. And like I mentioned before, I hate to say this, Philadelphia, but I'm not going to pick the Eagles and the Jets because why should I? Now, I know. I'm gonna hear it from Philadelphia fans pretty soon. So, all right. Yeah, why? Why should I? Okay. First one is Arizona. They're a 7-point favorite over Chicago, and the over/under is 47.5. I meant to mention that all these picks are from Vegas Insider website. I put these up. These 7 games I took. All right, I got Arizona. Who you like in that game?
I like Arizona, but not by much.
Close game. Okay. Denver is a 9.5-point underdog to Kansas City in Kansas City. Over/under is 49.5. Kansas City will probably win this game by 10 points. What do you like on this game?
I agree with you. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than that. Actually, I think it's going to be a 7-point ball game.
7-point ball game. Okay. Moving right along, we got the Los Angeles Chargers are going into Cincinnati to play the Bengals. The Bengals are a 1.5-point favorite. I'm going to stick with the Los Angeles Chargers because I think that if they can get this win, they can get themselves back in the right direction. Who do you like in this game? Oh, the over/under is 48. Who do you like in this game?
I like
Cincinnati? Okay, we having problems with your audio.
A little bit, yeah. It sounds like this. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. All right.
I apologize.
All right, the next one we're going to go to is Washington and Las Vegas. Las Vegas is at home. They're a 1.5-point favorite. The over/under is 48. The only reason I'm taking Las Vegas is like we mentioned before off the air. I'm going to take Vegas because they're at home, and I think that they're a little bit better and stronger at home. Who you got in this game? I know who you got.
Well, not because I'm a fan, but I like the Washington football team. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and they hope to keep it going because if they win this one, they can keep up with Dallas. They can keep up in the division with Dallas. I like Washington football team.
All right, no problem. Okay, Baltimore is going into Pittsburgh. They're a 3-point favorite. The over/under is 45. Baltimore, I like them because I think that they are the cream of the division, and they will hold on to that divisional lead. Who you got in that one there?
Like Baltimore, and that's a robbery that dates way back. But it seems like, yeah, I like them.
Okay. All right. New England is going into Buffalo on Monday night, and that is a 3-point Buffalo advantage, 3-point Buffalo favorite. Over/under is 46. I know that this is going to probably go over. Definitely going to go over 46. I like Buffalo. I think that Buffalo can hold them off. Who you like in that game?
I like Buffalo to snap the hottest team in football. I think they'll snap their streak. I like Buffalo also. They play at home and they got something to play for.
Exactly. You know, New England is pretty good and they're pretty hot. And I really think that this is Buffalo's chance right now to prove that they belong in the top seed in the AFC East. Okay, the final game I want to give you is Tampa Bay is 9.5 points favorite over Atlanta. I'm kind of worried about Atlanta in this game because the only reason I'm worried about Atlanta is that I got Cordell Stewart on one of my fantasy teams, and hopefully he'll do all right. I know he might not. But 9.5 point Tampa Bay favorite, and the over-under is 50.5. Who you like in that game?
Tampa Bay 30-14.
30-14. Okay, I got Tampa Bay probably 41-17. And hopefully 17 points can be scored by Cordell Patterson because I need that 17 points. I need at least 17 points from him to win this fantasy game. Okay. All right, we're done. And like I said, I really appreciate the time that you've given us. And Cousin Aaron, we really appreciate you. And like I said, I really appreciate you coming on and being with me, because the thing about it is that, like I said, I like basically helping people out and making sure that they can shine as well. You know, I don't have to shine. I'm just, you know, I can just stay rusty and stay, you know, under the light.
I appreciate it.
All right. Well, like I said, folks, you catch us on Facebook at Guru's Daily Shorts. Follow us on YouTube, the Guru of Sports Show on YouTube, IG, the Guru OS 39 on IG, Guru's Daily Shorts at gmail.com is the Gmail. Goat39 is on Twitter. Goaty's under the weather. He's at Black Goat 39. You know, stream us and follow us on all the podcast outlets. Spreaker's the main vessel that we come out of. I want you guys to know that we really appreciate you. You gotta subscribe to the show. Give us 5 stars. You know, do what you can. I want to give big props and shout outs now to my crew. Caden Guru is the executive producer and board op, which he's never here. My technical advisor is Ray Guru, musical engineer and technical advisor. I mentioned that. I mentioned that too. He's musical director and engineer. Okay. Dante Guru is my backup co-host of the co-host, and my main man, Cousin Aaron, is my co-host. He's right there with me. Appreciate you, Cousin Aaron.
I appreciate you.
All right. Our motto and saying is that this has been a Black Goat production for Black Goat Entertainment. Copyright 2021. All rights reserved. We don't steal from nobody. We always appreciate and never hate, and we always try to make somebody, you know, make everyone feel comfortable. I do want to give big props and shout outs to my man Damian Adams. His podcast is really great. Miss Mary Mack, we gotta talk soon, because I'm supposed to be going on her show, or she's coming on my show, something like that. We gotta figure that out. My man Jeff Duarte, I really appreciate you. My condolences on your loss, and you know, we'll talk about that pretty much soon. Also want to give a shout out to my man Dale Duncan, my little brother. My little brother I used to live in the same complex with me when we was growing up. My man Jamie Dorsey, my man Big Al from over in New Jersey, and his son Kareem. I met both of these guys the other, I think it was last Monday when I had the delivery over there. I really appreciate you guys. Miss Denise Hyde, really appreciate you listening in. I'm sorry about talking bad about Philadelphia, but hey, that's the running joke in here. My hip hop brothers, I appreciate you guys. My main man Daryl, appreciate you. Kevin Ryder, Kate is great. We appreciate you. My Twitter peeps, DA Illuminati's, appreciate you guys. Alberta Girl 34, Lori, appreciate you. Jefferson Southfield, Rick in Buffalo, Bella B. Appreciate you. Let me see. Did I miss anybody? No, I think I got everybody. I really appreciate you guys. We got a couple minutes that we're gonna, you know, me and Cousin Aaron are gonna talk for a few minutes. You got anything on your mind? You have watch any television?
Just really I would be a dead man if I didn't mention a real computer analyst, technician, because without her, you and I wouldn't be on the same show together. You'd be doing it by yourself.
Yeah, well, you know, we appreciate you, Miss Ann. We appreciate, you know, we're gonna have to work on the audio, because I'm not sure what it is, but it sounds like we got a little bit of audio disconnection right now. But we'll get that worked out. That's not a problem. We'll get that worked out. But I do want to say that, yeah, I'm going up to Syracuse on Monday, which is another great trip for me, because I really like getting up there. I just got back from Boston on Friday morning. Boston was great. I really like it. I really love traveling around and doing what I'm doing. I appreciate my company for having, Thanksgiving was just a couple weeks ago or a week ago. But I just want to tell everybody that at my company, I really appreciate you guys and thank you for the opportunity. All right. Got a few minutes left. Say again?
Driving in the snow. Have you ever been in the snow?
Not yet, and hopefully I won't see it. But I think that when snow comes, I usually try to. I always had a saying when it snows, right? If it's snowing, I ain't going. I ain't going. Nah, but I think what it is that my company is very, very safety oriented, and they basically want to make sure that people are safe during snow times and all like that. And that's one of the things. They really care about the people that they have. And that's why I try to work hard every single day to make sure that, I give my 100% to them because they're giving their 100% to me, And, it makes a big difference because, I've worked for companies that really didn't care or, companies that just, wasn't really there. But like I said, the people that I work for now, I mean, I don't have no problems. I'm enjoying, what I'm doing, and it makes a big difference. It makes a really big difference. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to shout out a couple people. I wanted to shout out my Uncle Gary and my cousin Dame. I really appreciate you guys too because, like I was telling you before that, I was supposed to be going on another podcast to talk about, PTSD and everything. But, with the help of my uncle and my cousin, it basically been helping me get out of this mess, to tell you the truth. It's a lot, it makes a big difference because the thing about it is that, when you have PTSD, you have to live in like a fog light, more or less. And it's really difficult to deal with. But the thing about it is that you got people that are helping you, and they make a big difference to me. And I really wanted to give them thanks for helping me out. Yeah, big props to you guys. All right, we're done. And like I said, we will be back next week with episode 91. This has been episode 90 of the Guru Talking Sports podcast. Cousin Aaron, you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Oh, yeah. Once again, thank you, first of all, for allowing me to do my little special. Nothing left to say, but have a great football weekend. Your family and you, and a safe trip to wherever you go.
All right.
Safety comes first, man.
All right. Appreciate it. Like I said, I really appreciate you, Cousin Aaron. Thank you. And like I said, anytime you have anything, any shout outs you want to give out, that's not a problem. But that's what we do. Like I said, my thing is to uplift everybody and help everybody get to the next level. Guys, take care of yourself. We will see you next week with episode 91. The Guru and Cousin Aaron will see you real soon. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your football weekend and hopefully pick up this podcast wherever you can. We'll see you next week. Later.